Chalo, now the next chapter which we are going to revise is the chapter of TCS. Everyone, please come to your chart of TCS. Everyone over here, listen to me very carefully. We started learning GST. We started learning GST with goods and service. Sir, goods or service, whenever it is being supplied, supply can be either interstate supply or supply can be intra-state supply. Everyone with me. Interstate supply, IGST will be levied. Intrastate, CGST will be levied. Once GST is levied, GST has to be collected and paid by a taxable person. How will he collect? How will he pay? He will calculate GST is equal to value of supply into rate of tax. Sir, once I know the value, I'll go ahead and raise the tax invoice, credit note, debit note, and delivery challan. Now listen to me carefully, everyone. Now, once you go ahead and raise the tax invoice, credit note and debit note, sir, your liability, you will maintain your accounts, send the goods to the other person with the help of a e-way bill. Now, sir, what will happen? Your liability to pay will come, and that comes at the time of supply. Okay, sir. Now you will go ahead and use your input tax credit. Along with input tax, we learn job work and we learn ISD. Now listen. Sir, remaining amount, I will go ahead and make the payment. So for an example, your liability was 1000. You will go ahead and use your input tax credit 500. Remaining amount, you will make the payment 500 rupees. Listen to me very carefully. Along with the payment of taxes chapter, payment is section number 49 and 50. Along with your payment of taxes ka chapter only comes your TDS ka chapter, which is section number 51, and sir, TCS ka section, which is section number 52. Everyone over here now, TDS 51, TCS 52. Now, TCS ka chapter, let's go ahead and now quickly revise everyone. TCS ka provision, sir, it was effective from 1st of October 2018. Chalo, let's go ahead and understand. Sir, when is TCS provision applicable? Government went ahead and told all these people now who are sitting at home and doing business, now they can go to Flipkart, register themselves and start doing business, and aram se they are sitting at home and doing, shopkeepers also do, and if you are sitting at home also you can do your business from Flipkart, Amazon, etc. But government was not able to trace these people, and hence to trace, government went ahead and introduced the provision of TCS. Government went ahead and told, if there is a supplier who is going ahead and supplying through Flipkart, let's go ahead and understand. For an example, Sridhar over here went online and placed an order on Flipkart. Sridhar placed an order and he made the payment on Flipkart. Flipkart went ahead. Flipkart will direct the order to a supplier. This supplier will go ahead and pack the goods and send it to the buyer. Okay, sir. Now this supplier who is there, when the payment will be received by Flipkart, when Flipkart is going ahead and making the payment to the supplier, Flipkart will go ahead and deduct TCS. Actually, they will collect, you can say deduct, or they will collect, sir, 1% of 50,000 rupees, not on the GST amount. For an example, the invoice over here, he will send the invoice to the customer. Invoice pay, the amount is 50,000, GST is 5,000 rupees, so 55,000 rupees over here, sir. Then only on the sale price, the value of supply which is there, sir, on that 1% will be collected by whom? Collected by the e-commerce operator, and remaining will be paid to the supplier. Sir, now tell me one thing. Sir, this Flipkart who is there, they will go ahead and collect CGST, SGST or IGST. Beta, if in the invoice CGST and SGST is charged, then they will go ahead and collect 0.5% CGST and 0.5% SGST. Sir, if in the invoice IGST is charged, then the e-commerce will go ahead and collect 1% IGST as TCS. Okay, now what will the Flipkart or the e-commerce operator do? They will have to take separate registration as a TCS collector, for which PAN is mandatory. And sir, now once they go ahead and take the registration as TCS collector, they will pay the TCS which was collected to the government, and they will file their statement. TCS ka it is statement, which is GSTR 8 by monthly 10. Once they go ahead and file their statement, the amount will be made available to the supplier on the dashboard, and the supplier, and after validation by the supplier that yes, this amount is correct, the amount will get credited to the e-cash ledger of the supplier. Now listen, I hope you guys remember that, sir, in compulsory registration, in case of section number 24 of our registration chapter, we had understood that, sir, Flipkart, because it has to collect TCS, it has to take a separate registration as a TCS collector, and sir, because your TCS will be deducted and you will get the credit. To take the credit, you should also be registered, and hence government told that supplier also has to take compulsory registration, whoever is supplying through e-commerce, so that the credit can come to your e-cash ledger. Baba, amount comes in your e-cash ledger. Okay, sir. And remember, supplier of service are exempted from registration up to 20 lakh or 10 lakh. And you know what? So, because the supplier will not take registration, in that scenario, for supplier of services, I am telling, e-commerce will also not collect TCS up to 20 lakh or 10 lakh. They have been exempted. Now, everyone over here. Sir, on what amount TCS will be collected? TCS will be collected only on the net turnover. Remember one thing, TCS will be collected on the net turnover supplier wise. Every supplier wise, the TCS will be collected, that is aggregate value. So if I have gone ahead and sold to Flipkart 10 lakh rupees ka supplies, returns have come 5 lakh rupees, remaining 5 lakh rupees which is their amount, on that the TCS will be collected. How much, sir? 1%. Sir, 0.5% CGST, 0.5% HGST, or 1% IGST. Everyone over here, aggregate value of taxable supply less supplies returned, whatever the return supplies are there, net value of taxable supplies paid, TCS will be deducted. Remember one thing, TCS will not be deducted on the supplies which are made under section number 9.5. Section number 9.5 ka case mein TCS provisions are not applicable. Okay, sir. Sir, this e-commerce operator who has to deduct TCS, they have to take registration where? They have to take registration in all the states, because generally they will have suppliers in all the state, and hence they are going ahead and telling e-commerce operator will be required to take registration in all the state, as the obligation for collecting would be there for every interstate or intrastate supply, because for every interstate or intrastate supply they will have to go ahead and collect TCS. And sir, every state may they will have supplier, buyer, suppliers, buyer. Now, if supposingly I am in the state of Karnataka only, and there is a supplier, and I am a buyer in the state of Karnataka, he will charge me CGST and Karnataka SGST. Means to collect 0.5% CGST and 0.5% Karnataka SGST and paid to the government, the e-commerce operator has to take registration in Karnataka. Done, sir. Now, sir, these e-commerce operators who are there, from them, the government, the GST authority is greater than equal to Deputy Commissioner, can also require the e-commerce operator to furnish the details of supplies which are affected through it. Means, what are the supplies Ramesh had done through you? What are the supplies various suppliers are doing through you? I want to know. And Baba, they have to go ahead and provide this detail. And sir, also you know, Flipkart, supposingly they will keep warehouse also. They will tell the suppliers, hey, you keep your goods over here, so that whenever order comes, no, quickly we will deliver. And in that scenario, remember, he becomes like storing the goods for others. And sir, whatever the details of the stock maintained by the e-commerce operator, if the Deputy Commissioner is going ahead and asking, he will have to go ahead and provide. If you don't provide within 15 working days, penalty up to 25,000 can be levied. Now, sir, can I go ahead and rectify the mistake? Supposingly the GSTR 8 which was filed by the TCS collector, now the TCS collector went ahead and did some mistake, then they are going ahead and telling any rectification of error or mistake, you can rectify in the statement to be furnished for the month. In which month you go ahead and notice that error, in that month you can go ahead and show in which error or omission is noticed, but that is subject to interest at the rate of 18%. Everyone over here now listen. TCS का केस में you have to remember one thing, the rectification का maximum time limit is 30th day of November or the actual date of furnishing the relevant annual return, whichever is earlier. Sir, 30th day of November or the actual date of furnishing relevant annual return, whichever is earlier. And sir, hence the maximum time limit to rectify. So if any GSTR rate was filed and there was some mistake, it can be rectified by due date of monthly return of September. Nahi baba, it will be 30th November of the next financial year. Basically this year ka mistake by 30th November of next financial year or annual return ka actual date, whichever is earlier. Please make this correction. This is the only amendment in this chart. This is the only amendment in this chart and this chapter of TCS. ठीक है, 30th day of November of next financial year or date of filing annual return, whichever is earlier. Okay, sir, done. Point is clear. Sir, supposingly e-commerce operator does not collect TCS, then non-collection means you have gone ahead and done an omission and penalty will come under section number 122 and penalty is 10,000 or the TCS amount whichever is higher under CGST Act, same amount payable under SGST Act also. Everyone over here, sir, can the supplier go ahead and keep the goods in the warehouse of the Flipkart, Amazon, etc. e-commerce operator? Yes, you can go ahead and keep, but then you have to go ahead and declare his place as your additional place of business. You have to go ahead and keep in the additional place of business. You have to go ahead and show his place as the additional place of business. Then, sir, no TCS in the following case. Number one, supposingly I am a supplier of land and building. Supposing 99acres.com is there. One will be supplier, one will be a buyer. In that scenario, when the transaction is out of scope only, then TCS provisions are not applicable. Transaction on which tax is payable under RCM. RCM ka case mein recipient will pay and hence government is going ahead and telling TCS is basically to go ahead and check who are the supplier. And Baba, when the RCM tax is paid by the recipient, government is telling I'm not bothered about the supplier, leave it, there will be no TCS. When the transaction is nil rated, wholly exempted or non-taxable supply, TCS provision will not get attracted. Next, sir, supplier unregistered person under section number 23(2). Then Baba, in case the supplier is not registered up to 20 lakh or 10 lakh, e-commerce operator ke through, if you are the supplier of service, then Baba, you are not required to take registration. In that scenario, e-commerce will not deduct TCS also. And then, sir, no TCS on the services which are covered under section number 95 wala Thar wala services pe TCS provisions are not applicable. Okay, sir, point is clear. Now, everyone over here, TCS collector के लिए the annual return, basically it is known as the annual statement, is GSTR 9B. The due date is 31st December of the next financial year. This year के लिए 31st December of next financial year. Matching and mismatching. Baba, see, supplier will go ahead and show GSTR 8 and Baba, in your GSTR 1 you will go ahead and show your sale. He showed that Ramesh has sold 10 lakh rupees. You showed your sale as only 8 lakh rupees. Then there is a mismatch. That is what they are telling. Sir, supplier's GSTR 1 to be matched with e-commerce ka GSTR 8. Any discrepancy shall be communicated to both the parties and it should be rectified. It should be rectified by the supplier or the e-commerce operator in the same month of communication. If you don't rectify, then the amount will be added in the output tax liability of the supplier in the next month and it has to be paid along with 18% interest till the from the due date to the date of payment. For your knowledge, this matching and mismatching ka provision practically is not happening. It's just theoretical over here. Okay, sir, point is clear. The right side over here, TDS and TCS ka differences. TDS under 51, 2%. Under 52 TCS, 1%. Remember one thing, 51 may it is always 2% and 52 section may it is always 1%. Sir, TDS, the government, the recipient who is basically the government will go ahead and do the TDS, TCS, e-commerce to deduct and pay to the government. TDS obligation is only on notified recipient. TCS, Baba, TDS is only on Department of Central Government, State Government, Local Authority and Governmental Authority and notified category. But TCS is on every e-commerce who is going to receive the payment. TDS is only when the value of contract is greater than. Everyone over here is only when value under contract is greater than 2.5 lakh. If e-commerce is collecting the consideration, even if 1 rupee is collected, TCS provisions are applicable. Here the return is GSTR 7. Here it is return is, it is not return, it is a statement which is furnished every month, and that is GSTR 8. Everyone over here, do you guys remember the T board which was there? Baba, in the T board, there will be suppliers who will be there, there will be buyers who will be there. Nowadays, the T board is made online, and hence people went ahead and asked, sir, when the T board is making the payment to the supplier or the T board is making any payment to the auctioneer, in that scenario, will TCS provision be applicable? And the circular clarified that, sir, TCS shall be collected by T board from the supplier, that is the T supplier, on the net value of goods, that is the T, and sir, from the auctioneer on the net value of supply of service, that is the brokerage. When the tea board or coffee board nowadays, because it is online, they will collect the money from the buyers and they will give it to the auctioneer and they will give it to the suppliers. When the tea board is going ahead and giving the payment, they will be going ahead and deducting TCS because they are also e-commerce operator. I will go ahead and close my discussion on TCS. Remember, the maximum time limit to correct any mistake or error, omission, etc. in your GSTR 8 is now 30th November of the next financial year or actual date of annual return, whichever is earlier.